Strategy Management Series. Video number 106, Strategy Formulation. Step 7, Strategy Evaluation. Anticipating competitors' responses. Welcome back to the Ready MBA series on strategy management. In our previous sessions, we delved into strategy evaluation, the crucial seventh step of the strategy formulation process. This stage entails scrutinizing potential strategies for their impact, benefits, costs, and resource requirements. In our last episode, we discussed some techniques the planning team can use to deal with inherent uncertainties to the assumptions used in the strategy formulation process. Sensitivity, Monte Carlo and scenario analysis are techniques that the planning team can leverage to simulate and evaluate the impact of such uncertainties in the financial viability of the strategy being articulated. However, one of the major uncertainties in strategy formulation is how competitors may react to the strategy as soon as they either suspect or learn of its execution. Anticipation of competitors' response to planned actions takes into consideration that no single strategy is implemented in a vacuum and that rivals' responses can impact greatly on projected outcomes. In this video, we will discuss how the planning team can anticipate rivals' reactions. We will introduce the concept of game theory and also the use of strategic frameworks. Anticipating competitors' reactions. When formulating a strategy, it's crucial to anticipate how competitors might respond. This allows the planning team to adjust their strategy to maintain a competitive edge. This process includes gathering competitive intelligence material and, based on it, trying to guess and anticipate the actions competitors may take in response to the new strategy. In other words, the planning team must put themselves in the shoes of their competitors, and based on their realities, imagine what their counter-strategies could be. For instance, if the planning team is considering increasing market penetration through discounted prices, how do they believe their competitors would behave, based on their realities and past history? Would they engage in a price war or would simply match prices? Could they respond with product innovation or address other market segments? Would any of their potential counter-strategies impact the supplier or distribution network in a way they could disrupt the successful execution of the strategy in consideration? To any strategy being considered, there are countless moves that competitors could take, some more sensible and potentially more successful than others. The planning team's responsibility is to map these potential moves, estimate their likelihood, and assess their impact on the strategy's financial viability and attractiveness. The team should also incorporate such challenges into their planning assumptions and revisit the strategy as needed, to make sure it remains viable, impactful and attractive. Anticipating competitors' response is similar to scenario analysis, with the difference that competitors' actions can influence multiple factors at once, and they must all be taken into consideration. Such factors may include market size, demand, prices, revenue growth, product features, costs, investments, relationship with customers and other elements in the value chain, to name a few. Here's a step-by-step guide to anticipating competitors' reactions. 1. Identify key competitors. Determine which competitors are most relevant to your strategy. This could be based on market share, product offerings, or strategic goals. 2. Analyze competitors' strategies. Examine competitors' current strategies to understand their strengths, weaknesses, and strategic objectives. Look for patterns in their behavior and response to market changes. 3. Predict competitor reactions. Based on your analysis, predict how competitors might respond to your strategy. Consider factors such as pricing, product launches, marketing efforts, and customer acquisition. Consider potential moves by competitors that may disrupt or impact the supplier or distribution chains, and how they may impact your costs, revenues and strategy execution. To anticipate competitors' reactions, the planning team can leverage techniques such as game theory, strategic frameworks, extrapolation of past experiences, or a combination of all of them. Technique number 1, Game Theory. Game theory provides a structured approach to understanding how competitors might respond to various strategic moves. By analyzing different scenarios and modeling competitors' behavior, the planning team can identify potential responses and develop strategic plans to stay ahead. The advantage of game theory lies in its ability to simulate complex interactions and anticipate a wide range of possible outcomes, allowing the planning team to make informed decisions that consider both their own strategy and potential competitor responses. We will take a closer look at game theory details and the different approaches that can be used in the upcoming videos. Stay tuned. Technique number 2: strategic frameworks. Strategic frameworks are analytical tools in the form of grids or matrices that help the planning team visualize the specific conditions in which a company finds itself. Based on the position in these matrices, the planning team can infer generic strategies that are more likely to be executed by a given player. The planning team can use strategic frameworks such as the BCG matrix, GE McKinsey matrix, Space matrix, Grand Strategy matrix, Internal-External matrix, and Shell DPM matrix, which were all covered in detail in episodes 69 to 74 of this video series. By mapping out where competitors stand in terms of market share, growth, industry attractiveness, and other factors, the planning team can predict what strategies they might adopt. This insight helps to anticipate potential moves and countermoves, providing a more comprehensive understanding of the competitive landscape and enabling the team to respond effectively to evolving competitive dynamics. As an example, imagine that the planning team chooses to use the Grand Strategy matrix to assess competitors' position and potential responses to the strategy being articulated. Their initial step would be to estimate the market growth rate for the competitor based on indicators such as market size, industry growth rate, customer demand, and emerging trends. Then they would evaluate the competitor's competitive position, leveraging indicators such as market share, brand reputation, customer loyalty, technological capabilities, product-service differentiation, and competitive advantages. Assume they found out the competitor has a strong competitive position and fast market growth, being placed in Quadrant 1. In such a situation, the competitor's likely strategic moves could be market penetration, market development, product development, diversification, and strategic alliances. Based on these findings, the planning team can then infer which potential counter-movements the competitor could take to their strategy, and prepare accordingly. Similar analysis can be executed using any of the other strategic frameworks previously discussed in this video series. Technique number 3: extrapolation of past experiences. In some industries, competitive relationships have been long established and players show some similar behaviors to similar situations. The competitive environment is somewhat stable and predictable. In these cases, players can estimate future competitive moves and counter-strategies based on similar past situations. Having an effective competitive intelligence system and structure is key to be successful here. A word of caution: extreme situations may lead to desperate measures. The planning team should be aware of players in extreme situations. Extreme optimism or pessimism may lead to unpredictable reactions. 4. Develop response plans. Create contingency plans for each potential competitor reaction. This could include adjusting pricing, enhancing product features, or changing marketing tactics to counteract competitors' moves. 5. Translate competitor response into financial impact. After analyzing competitors' reactions, the planning team should translate these insights into financial terms. This involves estimating how potential competitors' responses might impact revenue, costs, market share, and profitability. By incorporating these factors into the financial analysis, the planning team can gauge the strategy's viability and attractiveness under different competitive scenarios. This step helps to validate the strategic choices, ensuring they can withstand various competitive pressures and maintain their value proposition, even when facing aggressive responses from competitors. 6. Maintain strategic flexibility. Ensure your strategy has flexibility to adjust to changing competitive dynamics. This allows you to stay ahead of competitors and maintain a competitive advantage. 7. Monitor competitors' actions. Continuously monitor competitors' actions to validate your predictions. If competitors react differently than expected, be prepared to adapt your strategy accordingly. Developing a thorough understanding of competitors' reactions to strategic changes is crucial for successful strategy formulation. Anticipating competitors' moves involves recognizing that no strategy operates in isolation. The way rivals respond can greatly affect projected outcomes. This analysis encompasses game theory, strategic frameworks, and extrapolation from past experiences, each offering unique insights into competitors' likely responses. By employing these techniques, the planning team can better understand the potential implications of their strategic choices and ensure the strategy's long-term success. When executed correctly, this analysis helps to create a robust strategy that withstands competitive pressures while adapting to changing market dynamics. And this concludes this episode about anticipation of competitors' response. Please join us in our next episode where we will take a closer look at game theory and how the planning team can leverage this technique for better strategy evaluation. Until then, keep strategizing. See you soon.